My name is Alara Johnson. Everyone calls me Ellie. And at 65, I thought my foundation was complete as a retired architect and developer. I built structures meant to last. Yet, standing in the Museum of Modern Art, a sterile white cavern chosen by my son Jordan's bride, Tatum, the structure collapsing was my own family. I was supposed to be the proud matriarch. Instead, I was a walking ATM, providing funds for an event curated solely for Tatum's brand. The venue was cold. The laughter echoed hollowly. I did it for Jordan, wanting his happiness, but all I saw was a man playing a role he hadn't written. You look about as comfortable as a fish in a tree. Otis Bell, my best friend and owner of the state's most sought-after catering company, observed, "I'm used to places with more heart and less polish." I replied, I had signed every check. The venue, the orchids, the string quartet. The sadness began 2 years ago. The day the rot started. It began with Tatum's first request, $50,000 in seed capital for her vague lifestyle app, Aura. I knew it was nonsense, but Jordan looked at me, desperate for approval. I transferred the funds, not as a gift, but as a loan. In the wire transfer memo, I typed, "Loan for Aura app development." I saved the confirmation in a folder named Documentation. 8 months later came the second request, $75,000 for an influencer retreat in Bali, a lavish vacation disguised as marketing. Jordan dismissed my concerns. "Dad, it's just money. You have to spend money to make money." I transferred the money, noting it in the memo, "Loan for Bali marketing event." I was funding their delusion, but I was also meticulously building a case. The final crack came 3 months ago. Tatum and Jordan ambushed me in my study. Tatum, with calculated enthusiasm, laid out brochures for Evergreen Meadows, a luxury retirement community, alongside a real estate appraisal for my lake house. "Your house is appreciated to an incredible degree," she purred. "If we list it now, we can get top dollar." Jordan casually delivered the crushing detail. "The proceeds will cover the entrance fee for Evergreen Meadows for you, Mom, and with the rest, we can finally afford a down payment on a place of our own in the city." They were liquidating my life and my legacy, the home Michael, my late husband, and I remained silent, absorbing the architecture of their betrayal. I pushed the documents back. "You've given me a lot to think about," I said quietly. They left, confident of their victory. They did not know I had just confirmed the fatal flaw in their blueprint. The next day, I called Kendra James, a corporate litigation expert. I placed the documentation folder on her desk. "They have mistaken your generosity for a legal obligation," Kendra stated crisply. "We will remove your primary asset from the equation." Her plan was sharp. "We will draft the paperwork to place your property into an irrevocable trust, effective immediately. We will name it the Michael Johnson Legacy Trust. Upon your death, the trust's new beneficiary will be the School of Architecture at your university, funding a scholarship in Michael's name forever." The house was protected. It would become a monument, not an asset. Kendra added the crucial clause. Jordan will be granted lifetime residency, but he will be legally responsible for 100% of all property taxes, insurance, and maintenance costs. He will never own it, never sell it, never borrow against it. It will be a home, not an ATM. We also formalized the $125,000 I had advanced them by drafting legally binding promissory notes. Jordan refused to sign the certified mail, which, as Kendra explained, simply documented his intention to deny the debt. Finally, the wedding contracts. I had signed every contract, catering by Otis, jazz by Terrence, not as Alara Johnson, but under my corporate entity, Blackwood Designs. Kendra confirmed the client representation clause. If the client's representative is asked to leave the premises, the company reserves the right to terminate all services immediately. The on-site representative for Blackwood Designs on every single contract is listed as you, Ellie Johnson. I had built my own detonator. The trap was set. Back at the MoMA, Terrence had just finished a tribute piece to Michael. Tatum drifted toward me, her smile vanishing as we moved out of sight. "Your gestures are obsolete. she hissed. "Don't you get it? Your time is over. Your only value to us now is your bank account, and you've already paid for this party." She stepped closer, her eyes cold. "Thank you for footing the bill. Now you can leave. Get out of here. Get out and don't ever come back. You are not welcome here." All I felt was chilling clarity. I smiled, the smile of an architect who knew the full scope of the collapse. "All right, Tatum," I said gently. "You've made yourself perfectly clear. I'll leave. But I won't be leaving alone." I sent 2 texts. Plan B. Execute now. I walked away. Terrence and Otis received the message and, with the silent efficiency of professionals, began packing. The music stopped. The food was covered. The life drained instantly from the perfect party. Jordan ran up, panicking. "Mom, what's going on? Why is everything stopping?" "You should ask your bride," I said. Devoid of emotion, she told me I wasn't welcome here. Since I'm the one paying for all this, I figured my vendors should leave with their client. Tatum emerged, her smugness crumbling as she saw the vanishing party. The horrified realization hit her. When she understood that the entire foundation of her fantasy was walking out with me, she screamed. A raw, ugly sound of utter defeat. I walked out into the cool night air. The marriage, built on the promise of an inheritance, did not last the week. Jordan and Tatum tracked me down at a downtown jazz club. Tatum, furious, unleashed her insults. "You are a vindictive, pathetic old woman. You ruined everything." I waited for their rage to subside. "Let's set emotion aside and just look at the facts," I said calmly. "You believe I destroyed your wedding. You are operating under a fundamental misunderstanding. I did not pay for your wedding. Blackwood Designs, my corporation, paid for your wedding. Your bride terminated the contract when she dismissed the client's representative. It wasn't revenge. It was just business. Then I delivered the final blows. Let's talk about the future. The lake house now belongs to the Michael Johnson Legacy Trust, funding a scholarship. You, Jordan, have lifetime residency, but you are responsible for 100% of all taxes and maintenance. You are not being given an asset. You are being given a responsibility." Tatum was shattered. I turned to Jordan, sliding the envelopes across the table. "The $125,000 you referred to as my investment is now a debt. You are now officially in default. My lawyer will be in touch to discuss a repayment schedule. You are paying it back, with interest." The terror on his face was the full weight of his new reality. He was losing his safety net, his crutch. "You talk about my legacy as if it's a pile of money," I concluded, my voice heavy with finality. "It's not what you leave for people. It's what you leave in people. That house, that foundation. That was your birthright. You just had to respect it. But you saw it as a commodity." I stood up. "I did not do this to you. I simply stopped you from doing it to yourselves and to me. You drew the flawed blueprint. I am just the building inspector condemning a structure that was never meant to stand." 6 months later, I stood on my old university campus. A large banner read, "The future site of the Michael Johnson Center for Architectural Innovation." I saw Jordan on the edge of the crowd, thinner, alone, watching the site. Our eyes met. He looked at me, and I think he finally saw the architect who had to tear down a flawed structure to save the integrity of the design. I gave him a slow, single nod of recognition. He returned it. He hadn't come to ask for anything. He had just come to see what had been built in the place of what he had lost. The foundation was finally, and truly, secure.